everybody. Brian Stevens here with you at the National Real Estate Post and Mortgage Shots. Make sure you go to Mortgage Shots, subscribe so you can get my daily show. No cost, no nothing. We don't sell your information off. I mean, what do you got to lose? 82% of the United States population right now lives in regions experiencing an economic downturn. It's the highest level since 2020, and you can see that right there. I have a graph to prove it. In truth, I think we're going to see this number on your far right-hand side go down even further. You notice how when we had 100% people experiencing an economic downturn, that's what we call a recession. I think right now that we always find out about recessions. We talk about it retrospectively. We'll hear about it 6 months ago that we were in fact in a recession today. And by the way, if 82% of Americans are experiencing an economic downturn, can't we just get out over the tips of our skis on this one and say we're in a recession right now? And again, a recession from a mortgage loan officer or a real estate agent standpoint, even a buyer standpoint, is not a bad thing necessarily, because it all has positive impacts on the housing market. Prices come down, rates go down, which we're seeing. The Fed is going to start purchasing mortgage-backed securities again, which we're seeing. AI is going to increase the margins, allowing rates to go down a little bit more, which we're seeing right now. So, and our inventory is going to go up, which we're seeing right now too. So all of these things are good for buyers, real estate agents, and lenders. So if you're experiencing your own personal economic downturn as an independent mortgage loan officer or real estate agent, just trust me, this stuff is going to change for the better, and you should be experiencing it right now. The median down payment for a house hits a record high. Might be one of the reasons why people aren't buying houses right now. Did you catch what I said? I don't want to gloss over that. The median down payment hits a record high. Is this because of sales prices? Yeah, that has a hell of a lot to do with it. In August of 2025, the average down payment was $70,000. It was up 6% year over year. In short, if you want to buy a house in this market right now, you better have money. Doesn't really bode well for the underclass, the underserved, and oftentimes minority communities. Now, does it? Well, isn't that always the case, though? And this is the truth. We need comprehensive housing reform for underserved, low to middle class communities and minority communities, so we can bring homeownership to responsible folks who otherwise deserve it. But, with these sales prices on these houses right now, is it realistic? Which I find fascinating when we start looking at, HMDA, and the whole idea of redlining, which is abhorrent and terrible. There's no other way to put it. The period. End of sentence. Nothing more to say about that. That's why I find like a lot of our housing policies, which really has cultivated an environment that led to higher prices via artificially low interest rates a few years ago, via new home builders not building the inventory they need to build. We're still at a 5-year low in terms of inventory. We have 4.5 months of inventory right now. That should be a minimum of 6 months, which is keeping prices artificially high as well. These things that can be corrected should be corrected, which would pull prices down on properties, would help minority groups, underserved communities, and the low to moderate rungs on our socioeconomic ladder. This would help all of those groups, and it is something that is doable, and there is nothing short of that is going to help communities who need it. Unemployment insurance continued claims and Google searches side by side. If you're looking at the gold line on top, that is our continued claims, and as you can see, from January 8th, 2025, which is Elvis Presley's birthday, and myself included, up until today, we have by and large seen these numbers of unemployment claims go down. However, interestingly, we'd have to go all the way back to 2023 in order to find where our gold line, our continued claims, actually dip below the unemployment benefit searches. This is a Google search. We are seeing the most pronounced disparity between our Google search on unemployed benefits and actual unemployment benefits. Unemployment benefits are going down, so everybody's saying, hey, things are getting better. Unemployment benefits are going down. Yeah, but look what's taking place at the same time. We are now searching for unemployment benefits at a clip that we have never seen before, meaning people either lost their benefits or we're going to have a shit ton more who are going to get back on those benefits and get back on them very, very soon. So don't look at this graph as being something that's fantastic. This graph right now is, as we said yesterday, the canary in the coal mine here. The gold bar are unemployment claims going down and our unemployment benefit searches going up. That just tells me one thing. This recipe is going to bake a cake, and that cake says unemployment is going to continue to go up again. Only 28 out of every 1,000 U.S. homes change hand this year. It's the lowest turnover in decades. We're not moving homes, guys. People are staying put. Just 28 out of every 1,000 U.S. homes changed hands in the first 9 months of 2025, the lowest rate since the 1990s. That's a long time. We're talking 35 plus years here. Affordability challenges and uncertainty about the economy are keeping buyers and sellers on the sidelines. That would be one of the reasons. What do you think? Why are people on the sideline right now? Put it in the comments down below. Let me know. Homes turned over the most in Virginia Beach, Virginia, West Palm Beach, Florida, while turnover over the least is in New York City and Los Angeles. I got a graph to prove this to you, so you know I'm not lying. U.S. home turnover at the lowest rate in decades. And we can see back in 2021, we saw, that was the best we saw since 2012. And look what happened in 2021. My God. Thank you, COVID. We fell off a freaking cliff. We went from 42 per thousand down to in our 20s per thousand. It's the lowest in decades. We're not moving homes. So, U.S. metro areas with the highest turnover rate. It's going to be Virginia Beach, Virginia, West Palm Beach, Florida, Indianapolis, Atlanta. Virginia Beach, Virginia, I don't really have anything to say about that one. West Palm Beach, Florida, Virginia Beach, West Palm Beach, this is where people want to go. This is where people are going to retire, and they are more or less immune to this type of stuff. Same thing with Tampa, Florida. Now, Indianapolis, affordability. Atlanta, affordability. If we were to continue this list down of markets with the highest turnover, you're going to find a list that is littered with communities that are still affordable, where people could actually buy homes. You're going to see affordability where we have the least amount of turnover in high-cost areas. It is New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Jose, Anaheim, Oakland, San Diego. For rent giant accelerates buying and selling of homes. Invitation Homes finds discounts of over 20% as builders seek to offload excessive inventory. In the third quarter, Invitation Homes and its various joint ventures acquired 749 homes and deals totaling about $260 million. In that period, the company sold 316 homes in deals totaling about $122 million. About 70 of its acquisitions were forward purchase deliveries or new builds. See, these new home builders, man, they are losing their shit right now. They are. This is a new twist on things, but this is also another indicator that the market that we're in is going to continue to deteriorate right before our eyes. Deteriorate from a standpoint that it's not going to be great for sellers, even though you're probably sitting on a boatload of equity. But for us loan officers, real estate agents, and buyers, this is music to my ears. Pending home sales index seasonally adjusted. What do you know? It ain't good. It ain't good. We got to get these numbers up. Back there in 2020, that big spike over there, of course, that is COVID, when you're all sitting on our couches. Nobody did nothing. Then we all got our free government money, which turned out to be a horrible idea. And everything jumped up, and then, we fell off a cliff again. How Americans really feel about their neighbors, 2025 data. How about this? What do you say about this? Americans value good numbers so much that 82% say that having them is as important as price or location when buying a home. Food stamps are going down right now. From 2019 to 2022, man, look what took place. We went from like $60 billion in food stamps to, $150 billion. We way over doubled it. Food stamps are going down. The only reason I bring this up is getting off of food stamps and getting jobs is instrumental in buying a house. And hopefully some of these folks here find themselves to get themselves back on their feet. And hopefully the people like you and people like me might be able to go out there and help them with whatever their housing needs are. Okay, I want to go over a couple of other things here let's see what we got. Anyways, okay, home sales have not improved at all, despite low mortgage interest rates. Ain't that something? Here is what we are seasonally adjusted over here that we talked about. Pending home sales compared to September the prior year, 0.9, 1.2 in 2023, 8.3, 31% down from 2021, 41% down from 2020. My God, these numbers are not good. The average 30-year fixed rate on a mortgage back in 2021, that's when we hit the skids, and that was the worst thing that ever happened to us. And right now, we're sitting somewhere on average, in the mid-sixes, 6.25. But when you really think about this, if we were to take this and pull our average 30-year fixed rate mortgage and look at it over a longer period of time, you're going to find out that the rates that we have right now, they're pretty damn good. You guys all think we want the 4s. That's because we've got people out there with the 2s. So next to a 2, a 4 looks reasonable. Next to a 2, a 6 looks horrible. But when you live in the 6s, 7s, and 8s, a 6 looks pretty damn good. And that's where we are on a longer graph of historic norms when it comes to interest rates. Guys, these are not bad rates. And I'll tell you, if you are bitching about these rates right now, you are doing a disservice to your business, your realtor's business, and the industry as a whole. These are not bad rates that we have right now. And they're going to get lower, but don't sit and wait for anything, Take the fight to the market. Don't let the market take the fight to you. Applications for mortgages to purchase a home in the latest week ticked up from the drop of the prior week, but not enough to make up for all the drops, according to data from the Mortgage Bankers Association. These purchase mortgage applications are an indicator of home sales in the near future. Demand for mortgages to purchase a home began to plunge over 3 years ago and has been wobbling on these levels ever since. One last paragraph here. Compared to the same week in 2029, purchase mortgage applications were down by a whopping 34%, the new normal, despite the much lower mortgage interest rates. In short, rates they're not gonna come here to save you. I'll tell you right now, you might see rates go down by 1%, and you might get some refinances out of this, but this is not going to fix nothing. Manufactured housing is the future of affordability. Do you guys believe this or not? Manufactured housing, yeah, I do see it as the future of where we're at. And the FHFA is requesting public comments on the strategic direction of the GSEs to help restore the American dream of home ownership for all Americans. And listen, you guys make it a great day. Share this all over the place. Do whatever you do. Reach out to me. I would love to talk with you guys, especially those who I haven't spoken with before. So with that said, you guys make it a great day. And oh, by the way, it's November now. We got 2 months. You got 2 months to right the ship before we're going to start 2026. And I don't know about you, but I'm looking to hit some home runs this next year.